July 17th, 2014. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 52 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting next to me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
How you feeling, Dr. Mike?
Well, I'm loopy.
He's had a rough 3 weeks now?
This is the 17th day.
Geez, remember in the last episode you were talking about how bad your back was, too.
It's still
been
very
rough.
bad.
Yikes.
Except now I'm on constant Percocet and Valium.
Good. Well, this should make for a good episode then.
Right. I mean, my head is just spinning.
Great. All right. Well, I'll try to keep you on track.
Yeah. You had to help me play craps.
I know. When we
the
were
other night, I kept forgetting to make bets and things.
That's true.
Oh my God.
I kept an eye on you. I kept a close eye. Oh, Mike, don't you need a 3-way 7? Get that out there. Right. Hey, your pass line bet, get it out there. You did okay. You won.
I won. Good. We had a good couple of weeks. Maybe that's the secret.
That's the key.
I just don't need to know what I'm doing. Just throw my money out there.
Maybe you should. I'll just drive from now on. Once your back is better, just get stinking drunk before we go out.
Right.
And then I'll just keep track of you, make sure you're okay.
There you go.
That's good. Just another good idea for both of us. Good. All right. All right, in the news, let's jump to the news. So the Lion's Share machine, let's talk about that for listeners who may not know. But the Lion's Share machine is a slot machine at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas that has been there since the place opened in the 90s.
Yeah.
It used to be a bank of machines, just 3 real machines called Lion's Share, and it had a progressive jackpot. Well, the jackpot never hit. And so the story was they had to keep at least one machine from that bank of machines on the casino floor until the jackpot eventually hits.
Right.
So it's coming up on 20 years now probably that this machine left over from a bank of machines is still on the floor at the MGM Grand.
Oh, it's due.
It's due, baby.
To
The jackpot is now around $2.3 million.
Wow.
And, it's gotten kind of a mythological following behind it. So the story was that the machine had to stay out there till the jackpot hit. Well, ABC News ran an article about the machine recently, and Justin Andrews, who's the executive director of slot operations at MGM Grand, he said, I could move this jackpot to equal or lesser denomination game, but I wouldn't do that because of the game's following in history. So this is kind of news to some of us in that it's not the actual machine that has to stay on the floor.
It's just the jackpot has to be available for somebody to win.
Exactly. So he could potentially move it somewhere, but hasn't because, people enjoy it.
Well, it's a huge draw, right?
Yeah. Well, especially now, when I played, have you ever played it?
I haven't played it. We went by it and looked at it.
I've played it twice, and both times I just walked up to it. Nobody was playing.
Really?
But a little while ago, it was about a year ago, something like that, the Wall Street Journal ran an article on it. Uh-huh. And so now suddenly it hit the mainstream media. And so now many more people know about it. And my understanding, I haven't walked by it for a while, but my understanding now is that there's a line to wait to play it, and that it's very hard to get on the machine now.
Hey, why would you wait in line to play that?
It is kind of silly. It's like any other kind of, you were joking about how it's due. And of course, there's no such thing as a due slot machine, right?
Well, the thing is you wait in line, right? So you're standing there doing nothing. You're waiting in line. The guy before you hits it. You'd feel terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Number
1. Number 2, the guy doesn't hit it. Your turn finally comes. You go through $300. You don't hit it. You walk away and think I wasted all that time. I mean, it's kind of a no-win situation. Now, if I was walking by and it's empty, I'd sit down and play my $100 in there. Yeah. But I'm not going to stand in line.
Yeah, I won't be standing in line to play anymore. I will say, luckily, the 2 times that I played, I took it for about $150. So I'm ahead for Lion's Share. Sure, I think I'll just, even if I see it open, I don't think I'll play it. I'll just say that I'm ahead for Lion's Share for
just
my whole life.
Just walk by and tell the people in line, I wanted that machine. It's hot. That's a good machine.
So anyway, the machine is still there. If you want to see it, you can always just ask one of the slot attendants there. They know exactly where it is. And it's an old style machine. It will take your money, but it's so old that it doesn't have ticket out, or it won't even pay in coins or like dollar, right? It's a dollar machine, won't pay in dollar tokens. So when you want to cash out, you have to hit a button on the machine and have somebody come and hand pay you.
Wow.
No matter how much is on the machine. right? If you've got $5 on the machine, you want to cash out, you've got to wait for a hand pay.
You're down to 80 cents or some ridiculous amount. If it was a penny machine, you got to call somebody over and they got to pay you.
Yeah. See, you are loopy. Because why would you even say 80 cents? Now you're saying if it were a penny machine, we're talking about a specific dollar machine.
I have cashed out on penny machines for weird amounts.
Sure.
Like 21 cents.
Yes. No, this is a dollar machine.
So you could get it to, what's the max play on that?
At three coins.
Yeah. So you could get it to $2 or $1.
Well, you could get it down to $1 depending on what the payouts are.
And you probably wouldn't cash out.
You just play the rest of it. So anyway, Lion's Share machine doesn't have to stay out there, but they are now deliberately keeping it out there. There was a it was a roulette dealer at the Meadows Casino in Pennsylvania who has been arrested and is now going to stand trial for helping patrons win at roulette. Mm-hmm. So exactly how did he do this?
Helped him win.
All right. So,
all right. I'm psychic. The next number's 12 red.
Right. And 12 red came up, so they arrested him. Exactly.
He announced he was psychic. That was his mistake.
Yeah, exactly. If he had just said, I'm guessing,
right,
that'd be the thing. But the fact that he announced he was a psychic, now they can actually prove that he was cheating and arrest him, and they have a case.
Okay. I don't think that's it, but tell me what he did.
All right. Here's what happened. He was apparently telling players, okay, I'm going to aim for the 4. Okay, so when I spin the ball, mm-hmm. I'm going to aim for the 4 on the roulette wheel. Okay. So he told people to bet on the 4 and the numbers that, are close to the 4 on the wheel. It's like 16, 23, 33, 35. That's around 4 that he's going to, aim for the 4, but he might not get the 4 exactly. So, bet the 4, but also bet the numbers that are close to the 4 on the wheel.
He might miss and get one of the other 38 choices, right?
Exactly. So he was telling patrons about this, and apparently they caught him. There was they had an informant in there that, he was telling. Right. And so, apparently there were some patrons who won a few $100s at his table.
By betting on the 4.
And those numbers. So he was arrested. Wow. So what do you think of this?
I think it's crazy. I mean, unless he's like, okay, I'm going to put it in the 4, and he just drops it in the 4.
See, I'm not saying that nobody is capable of, maybe spinning a ball with enough practice and getting it to fall within a certain place of roulette wheel.
Right.
I don't think this guy is one of those guys.
Right.
It's just my guess, especially if he's just telling strangers, just wanting to help people out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's what you got to do. Bet on the 4.
Well, that happened to me at blackjack once, though.
What happened?
Where the dealer was saying, "I'm aiming for 12, and I'm going to hit and bust. So up your bet.
What happened?
I'm aiming for 12. They got 21.
Wow. Yeah. So it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Okay. So they weren't arrested.
They weren't arrested.
They actually got
They were fine. They were aiming for a bus.
They got a bonus in their paycheck is what they got for making you believe that, you were shooting for 12.
Now, who would believe that, though? Seriously.
This seems like just such a waste to me because, there's definitely cheating going on out there, right? And I don't look at this as a case of cheating necessarily. Now, you read these articles in the media, you never know how much information you're actually getting.
Right.
But again, I'm guessing, if this guy really had the ability to hit a certain place on the roulette wheel, you think that he would have, some friends work in cahoots with him. That's a very common way of cheating, right?
Right. Yeah. Why would you tell anybody? You would just have your friends come over and always bet near the 4, right?
Exactly. Right.
And split it with them later.
Yeah. I mean, kind of mix it up. You wouldn't be just, hey, you want some advice?
Yeah.
Bet on the 4. I'm aiming for the 4 every time. Here it goes. Aiming for the 4, everybody.
I'm going to try that when I'm rolling a craps. Put your money on hard 6 because I am trying to roll a hard 6 every time. And chances are I'm going to hit it.
I think eventually you're going to hit it.
Eventually I'm going to hit it. Bet on it.
Yeah. All right.
12.
Try.
Just high-low every time. High-low every time. I've been practicing at home on the Monopoly dice. I can roll 12 every time.
You actually should do this because just do that like every session, announce that. And eventually, you're going to hit a bunch of hard 6s or 12s or whatever you said you're going to do.
It.
And then, then you act all cocky like, oh yeah, I quit my job. I make a living at this now.
Yeah, this is what I do.
Of this dice control. Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll find out what happens to this guy, but it seems to me that it's a case that should be thrown out.
Seems to me like the casino would spend a lot of money on legal fees, right?
Well, it's probably a criminal case, right? So it's not even something, it's not like a lawsuit. He was arrested. So this is the government actually.
So the government's going to waste money on that?
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
boy. Because we have so much extra.
Yeah. Well,
waste.
it's Pennsylvania, so
yeah,
I guess it's not coming out of our pocket, but
I guess not.
We'll see what happens. I think it should be thrown out, and especially if you're talking a couple $100,
right?
Usually in cases like this, it's like, oh, well, they took the casino for $50,000, and then you hear that, and it's like, okay, something's up,
something's
right?
Something's
but a couple $100. Well, I bet there are a bunch of stories where he told people to bet on the 4, and they, people came up and lost their $50, right?
And they're probably all pissed off. That guy, that idiot. I'm aiming for the 4.
Yep.
Why the 4?
I'm just going to I don't know. That's a good question. It's his favorite number. I'm going to say that now. I'm aiming for the 4, just in life.
Well, you set the dice to 4 a lot when you roll.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, so you're aiming for the 4.
I'm aiming for the 4. Hey, we want to thank everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link at the top of the page. That way, when you make a purchase, we get a little kickback that helps cover the costs of hosting the show, and it doesn't cost you a thing. You'll pay the same price just like normal. I went over to your house the other day. You had a little present for me.
Yeah. I thought I'd get you a little treat.
The Pai Gow tiles. If you remember the last episode, Mike, it sounded like he was joking. Nope. Said, "Oh, Mark, I'm going to get you some Pai Gow tiles."
I went home that night and told Lynn, look that up. So she got online. Turns out there's a lot of places that sell Pai Gow tiles.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not just gambler places. She just went to, Pai Gow tiles, and there was tons of them.
Nice.
And different, some were real fancy sets, some were real cheap sets.
Yeah.
But we got a decent set.
It's a very nice set. And now I'm going to break it out at card night one of these nights. I'm going to wait until we have all of our regulars at the table, and I'm going to say, I guess I'll deal some Pai Gow. And they'll say, oh, good. Yeah, we like Pai Gow. And then I'll bring out the tiles. Right. And then they'll say, oh, that's Mark being a jerk again.
You should have a big.
Thinks it's real funny.
Big flow sheet with all the combinations and everything here.
Here you go. Just look at this and then set it accordingly.
It takes them like 20 minutes to set their hands.
Oh, real funny, Mark. Congratulations. You got us. But I'll force them to play, though.
Yeah. No, hey, we're going to master that.
You know what I won't be able to do, though, unless I really study? Remember we were playing when they shuffle up all the tiles, right? And they wash all the tiles. And then they stack them up, and then the banker picks how you want them to be distributed, right?
Right.
I don't have any of that.
Yeah, I don't even know. Was that in the directions? Did you look at that yet?
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't think it was.
The directions were real specific.
I've never seen any kind of directions where they're teaching you the game that talks about that.
Yeah,
how they distribute them.
Because there's actually different ways to distribute them, right?
Yeah.
And I guess you'd have to know what those are to...
Yeah, no. So I won't do that. But maybe I'll play. I have a feeling what's going to happen is I'll break it out. People will say, oh, yeah, Mark's a jerk. Okay, let's go ahead and play. We'll play. They'll be confused, even if they've won. And they'll say, let's never see these again.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
But it's worth it.
But you'll have them.
Yeah,
you
thank you.
Have them. Now, if anyone wants to call this, they're right here.
If we ever have a casino night,
right,
if we ever have a casino night, they're there.
Yeah.
It's like, then if somebody comes up, well, I bet you don't have Pai Gow tiles, then, right they'll eat crow. It's like, here they are.
Here they are, right next to the Chuckala.
That's right. Now, I don't really remember how to deal, but here they are. It's funny because when you and I go out, it's funny because when we socialize, so much of our socializing takes place at the casino,
right?
Because we go every week and we go up there and we don't really see each other outside of the casino that much.
Well, yeah, not too often.
Not too often. So our socializing, a lot of times we're talking about gambling. Right. So it's funny when we're in a setting that's not gambling related.
Yeah.
You and I still kind of want to talk about gambling. It works great like, when you have a host a podcast or you're at the casino, but when you're out in the public.
It's like your wife. What was she saying about you always want to talk about gambling? She wants to talk about
the animal shelter where she volunteers.
Right. And so you have to find some topic that isn't that.
Right. We try to find new topics. We haven't found anything really yet.
That interests both of you. Yeah.
Well, what got me thinking about it is my sister got married this last weekend and you were at the wedding.
Right.
And we were sitting at the same table And, we were telling some of the people at the table about our podcast and what have you,
They were
But
asking.
of course, the conversation would change to, different things, current events and food and what have you. Well, anyway, during the toasting segment, there was a microphone that was going around to different tables and people would, get on the microphone and start talking. And, so I said a few things. I didn't say anything about gambling, but, I said a few things. Well, eventually the microphone got over to my cousin. And she started talking about how, she remembers when Sue was a baby and, my sister was a baby and
she started
funny things
talking
like that.
about funny stuff she did when she was a kid.
Yeah, right.
And then she got up to her and Sue going to Vegas.
Right. And so she says, this is my cousin talking about my sister. Oh, yeah. And I'll remember we were in Vegas and she was trying to teach us craps. And so immediately Mike and I broke into applause.
Yeah. Big loud applause. Like, real fast, like, yay, crabs.
And I don't know what the people at the wedding thought or what my cousin thought. Like, why are they clapping all of a sudden? But as soon as she mentioned crabs, here's you and I are, clear across the other side of the room. Just, oh, yes, crabs. Excellent. This is a great wedding. Yeah.
People are probably like, what the hell's their problem? And my wife says, I can't take him anywhere.
So that's you and me out in public, right? Just, no matter what the occasion,
ruining each other, ruining our family's wedding.
Yeah,
Sue's probably waiting for one of my daughters to get married someday to tell some embarrassing story about me.
All right, back to the news. Let's see so California Chrome, the almost Triple Crown winner, got a lot of attention. Everybody was kind of rooting for him, and then there was kind of some ugliness afterwards, right? Steve Coburn, who's one of the owners, was real bitter after the Belmont Stakes and was saying some kind of crummy things about how,
was he drunk at all?
I don't know. But I don't think he was, because the next morning he didn't back down.
It
wasn't until a little while later, right? And, he was saying stuff like, for the Triple Crown, it should be the same horses running each race, which to me is absolutely wrong, right? The whole point of winning the Triple Crown is that you're able to do it at different lengths against horses who are better
at that length,
at that particular length, right?
Right. You're proving that you can run any length and beat any horse at anything.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
so there's a little more ugliness out here by us. We have a great racetrack called the Del Mar racetrack by us here that actually opens today. Thursday.
Thursday is opening day.
Opening day. And they wanted to have California Chrome make an appearance. Now, the story's a little muddled because the press has been reporting certain things and then the two parties have been saying other things. So it's not really clear what's going on. But apparently the owners asked Del Mar to pay $50,000 for California Chrome to make an appearance.
Yeah, an appearance fee.
An appearance, right? Not a race. Not running a race.
No, just to show up.
Yeah.
Which is not uncommon.
No, it's not uncommon.
Because Tiger Woods goes and plays in that golf tournament in Dubai every year because they give him $1 million to show up.
Yeah.
Now, if he wins the tournament, he still gets money and stuff. But if he just shows up, he gets $1 million.
Yeah.
Because he's a draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And California Chrome would certainly be a draw here at Del Mar.
Sure, it'd be a sellout that day.
Well, the owners were asking for $50,000, and apparently Del Mar said, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that really happened or not. There was some press that got in the middle of it, and so maybe some things were muddled. It seems
like a lot.
It does seem like a lot. Maybe it is more.
Show up.
It is probably more than normal.
Right.
But it's been a long time since we've had a horse whose name is pretty familiar to even the general public.
Right.
When it was going for the Triple Crown.
Most of the time at Del Mar, a horse will win a race, win a stakes race or something, and then later become famous.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, remember when he raced at Del Mar?
That's right, yeah.
That's happened quite a bit.
So as of right now, they're kind of at an impasse. It looks like California Chrome is not coming here, at least this season.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's too bad that it kind of got down to this. And,
if I was the owners, though, I would want to take the horse to different tracks.
I guess.
Just, for the publicity and,
I don't know. I'm sure it is very expensive and difficult to ship a horse and, everything involved with it. But hopefully they'll get this worked out.
Well, they're going to get it all back in stud fees later.
Oh, of course.
I mean, that's where horses make their real money.
Do you think Del Mar would make their $50,000 back just on the number of people, coming that day and wagering?
Yeah, boy, they would get a huge crowd.
I think so.
But they get big crowds anyway.
Yeah.
They have pretty big crowds unless they put him on a day like a midweek
That's
day.
what I'm thinking. Don't do it on a weekend when you're going to get people there anyway. Do it on like a Thursday.
Do it on a Wednesday or a
something.
Thursday when they don't typically have a huge crowd.
Yeah.
And then they'd get a big crowd that day. Yeah, they might make their money back.
Yeah.
Probably make their money back in beer.
$50,000 worth of beer.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get enough people, right? It's hot.
Yeah.
It's summertime. People there. I mean, I see the lines at the beer concessions are always packed, right?
No, it's true.
Well, our friend Paul, they go out there every, I believe it's Wednesdays.
That sounds right.
Every Wednesday, him and a couple of his buddies go to Del Mar during the season and, basically drink.
Yeah.
And they bet some races, but they just sit there and drink.
It's
all
there to
afternoon.
socialize and drink.
Socialize and drink, yeah. So that's how they make their money.
All right. Let's just, for the sake of argument, say that Del Mar would make their money back when you include admission, wagering, and beer. And that's our stance on it.
And parking and all that.
Yeah, right. Parking and everything.
Parking's
so that they
expensive.
should probably pay the $50,000. And who knows? Maybe they're worried about a precedent being set, but well, right. This is a pretty much a household name.
Right.
If there ever was a non-Triple Crown winning horse that could be a household name, this is one, right?
Yeah, there was so much hoopla.
Yeah.
And then actually his tirade afterwards kind of made it even more of a, right? I mean, it's a good publicity stunt.
Yep.
Because there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yep, no such thing as bad publicity. Yeah. Hey, we got a good email from listener to the show, Taylor, who we met up with on our last Vegas trip.
Right.
He was telling us about a deal going on at the El Cortez in downtown Las Vegas, where if you make a withdrawal from their ATM and then take the receipt to their players club, they will give you 5% of your withdrawal back in free play, up to $1,000 withdrawal, which would be 5% of that would be $50.
Right.
So the max that you could get back in free play is $50. Yeah. This sounds like a great deal, right? Because you withdraw the money. You don't necessarily have to play any of that money at the casino.
Sure.
You just show the receipt.
You can put it right back in your pocket.
Put it right back in the bank if you want. Yeah.
Right.
Now he did say he did this and he did take out the $1,000 and he said that there was a $3.50 ATM fee.
Right.
So there was that. But then sure enough, he got the $50 in free play. And
if he takes that to video poker and returns himself like say $45 to $46, minus his
it's free money.
He's got $40 free bucks.
Yep, that's an advantage play, my friend.
Yeah, that's $10 on each hard way.
Yeah, exactly.
One of them hits, you parlay to 100, you hit it, $900.
All right, I think the advantage plays out the window now all of a sudden. But he was asking about out of town players. Said it was no problem if you're an out of town player, you can do this once a month.
Oh, once a month.
Once a month. Okay. So it's not like you go back there like every day and just keep doing it.
Well, every hour. Huh? You mean another 1,000.
But once a month, he did say for higher tier level players, and I'm not familiar with the Players Club at El Cortez, but if you are one of the higher tiers, apparently you can do it maybe up to 3 times a month.
Oh, okay.
So it depends. But at least for sure, again, 5% back on your ATM withdrawal, up to $50, which would mean a $1,000
I
withdrawal.
wish Harris Rincon had that.
Oh, I know.
That'd be sweet.
We've got to do this, though, because when we go out in October, we're probably going to be staying downtown.
Right, yeah.
So we'll definitely, hopefully it'll still be going on.
Right.
Each of us take advantage of it.
Sure. And the El Cortez is such a great place.
I haven't been in, when's the last time you were at the El Cortez?
A long time.
Long time for me, too. I remember it was beat up. I mean, it was in really bad shape.
Yeah, I wonder what it looks like now.
I think it's still pretty much a sawdust joint, very popular with locals, but there are a lot of people who still like going to it for the character. Anyway, Taylor, thanks for that great tip. Well, speaking of casinos that are kind of crummy, it was just announced this last week that Trump Plaza, it looks like Trump Plaza is going to be closing.
So first the Showboat.
Yeah, the Showboat announced they're going to be closing.
In Atlantic City.
Yeah.
I almost said Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
But
Atlantic City. So
that's the Percocet talking.
Yeah, okay.
The Showboat and now Trump Plaza.
Yeah, and Revel too is saying, "Hey, look, if we may have to shut our doors too, right?
Wow.
I mean, it's just going that
That's
badly."
a huge casino to shut down.
Oh, well, talk about a disaster, right? I mean, that was an expensive. People were talking about how that was going to revitalize Atlantic City.
Right. Is that the end of Atlantic City, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, this is big because people are going to lose their jobs.
Right.
And I mean, obviously Atlantic City hurt. We had such a good time when we were there. It's really a shame.
Yeah.
But I will say this, the Showboat, I really liked. That was the one that was kind of big and open.
Right.
And I love that place.
Well,
I
we
really
won
did.
there too.
And
or I won.
You won.
You lost because you were playing poker.
I was playing that goofy carnival game, and I had a good time. But I had a great time there, even though I lost.
But my brother and I won, and we liked the craps. It was.
But I'll tell you,
They had purple felt.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
like
love when
that.
the felt is different from green.
Yeah, I like the purple felt.
But I'll tell you, Trump Plaza, that was a dump.
That was a dump.
That was dumpy.
Yeah,
and although I enjoyed playing there too, because the crew at the craps table was great. Oh my gosh, that was a dumpy place. So
yeah, now does Trump own any of that?
Trump is not involved with Trump Plaza anymore.
Yeah,
no.
just his name.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
what about Taj Mahal? Is he still involved in that?
No. Well, my understanding is he owns stock in both of them still, but he's not like the owner.
Principal owner.
Right,
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is pretty bad news. A lot. I heard it's going to be between the two of them, it's going to be like close to 25% of the workforce, a casino hotel workforce. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So that might be, maybe that's high. Maybe I was looking, maybe that it would be if Revel also closed. I can't remember what I was looking at.
Yeah, that sounds more like if
But
Revel
still,
closed.
oh my gosh. Yeah. Atlantic City's hurting. And we know why, right? It's the availability of all the other casinos,
Now I hate to say it because we do go to Harrah's, Southern California Harrah's. Those local Indian casinos have taken a lot away. I'm sure they've taken a lot away from Vegas as well, even though Vegas still has that trip, like, Vegas, baby, let's go to Vegas. It still kind of got that mystique about it, whereas Atlantic City probably lost a lot of that, and people are going, well, they're opening up casinos in Philly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that far away. So
well, I can tell you for sure, you and I would be going to Vegas a lot more if there weren't casinos close to us now that offer the games like craps. Because, back like in the 90s, these casinos were still around here, but they didn't have craps, which is our game of choice.
Well, they
right?
had bingo and they had some weird form of blackjack, like 22, California 22.
Right. So
stuff like that.
It really wasn't like going to a real casino. So no, it's Atlantic City's suffering from the same thing. People can go to casinos closer to their house and, so it's too bad. So maybe you've seen this. Maybe some of the listeners have seen this. This is kind of funny. During the World Cup, Singapore was running these anti-gambling public service announcements. The gist of it was, problem gamblers, it doesn't just affect you. It can affect people around you.
Right. And, I guess there's a lot of problem gamblers in Singapore.
I don't know. Maybe.
I imagine.
It could be. And, problem gambling is always an issue. We don't talk much about it on the show because we all know there's some people who have problem gambling. It is an issue. But apparently this public service announcement, it showed these kids sitting around talking about who they thought was going to win the World Cup. Right. And so these kids are talking, oh, yeah, Brazil's going to win. They're the best. No, Argentina's going to win. Yeah. And then the camera goes to this kid that looks really sad. And he says, oh, I hope Germany wins. And the kids say, why? Because my dad bet all of my savings on Germany. And, so then it ends with, gambling doesn't just affect you, it affects people around you. So now Germany ends up winning the World Cup. And so now people are like, hey, kid, you're set for life. Yeah, if your dad put all of your savings on Germany, you're in great shape. Now, why on earth would you use specific teams, specific countries in the ad?
Right. Well, what's funny is Germany wasn't that big an underdog.
No, right? Say Ivory Coast or something if you're going to use
or United States. I mean, they were 250 to 1, right?
True,
but there was like Iran was 4,000 to 1, right? Oh, I put all my money on Iran. Well, yeah, that might not be, but Germany wasn't that bad.
No. So anyway, Germany, I mean, some people pick Germany to win the whole thing.
Right. Well, they were like fourth favorite.
Yeah. Why would you put that in the ad? Just say, oh boy, I'm worried about who wins the World Cup because my dad bet all this
money, right? Why did they single out Germany?
Yeah. So they did that. Now they're kind of backtracking and there have been some print ads now where it shows one kid saying to the kid whose dad bet all the money, "Oh, your dad's team won. Did you get your savings back?" And the other kid says, "No, Dad never stops. He wants to bet one more time."
Yeah.
So they're trying, we understand the point they're trying to make, but now here they're saying, "Oh, your dad's team won."
Yeah.
It's kind of an embarrassment for them.
Well, it's kind of weird that it's even weird that they would use the World Cup. Because I know there's a lot of betting on the World Cup, and some countries in particular, there is a lot of betting. But I mean, it'd be more likely that it'd be something like the lottery.
No, but Mike, there is a lot of betting on the World Cup outside of the U.S. A lot. And it sort of blows my mind too, because people are betting with their hearts instead of their heads. Why on earth would you bet on soccer?
Right.
I mean, the thing, especially like on a single match.
Right.
Because, it's so low scoring. It's anything can happen, right?
Right. And most games are 1-0 or they're penalty kicks or something. And when you have a low scoring game, when you have a game that's low, anything can happen. Yeah. One weird little bounce, right? And somebody scores or a referee calls a penalty at a critical time, right? I mean,
of course. And I think me and Mike have talked about this before. I remember hearing from a sports bettor once, supposedly somebody who made a living at sports betting, saying that really what he bet on was basketball because there's so many points scored. And, if the if the ball, there's a turnover or the ball bounces a strange way, well, it might make a difference of 2 or 3 points. Right. Compared to like soccer where, it could be the whole game or even football, a bad bounce and the guy runs it back for a touchdown, right? That can be devastating. But with basketball, if you really follow the game, and this is kind of borne out too when you look at the teams that have winning records, they're not having winning records like you'd see in baseball, where maybe they won like 60% of their game. The really good teams, they're winning like 75% of their games, right?
At least, at least. Some of them go a whole season, they have 13 losses, right?
Yeah, so we're making generalizations here. We're certainly not sports betting experts, but it seems to me, basketball, that's a safer thing to do. Soccer, why would you do it? But again, most popular sport in the world, of course, that's what people want to bet on, right? Because they're really rooting for their teams, or they follow
we've said this before. That's why I'm not a sports bettor. I make a sports bet every once in a while for fun. Yeah, but for 2 reasons. Number one, I almost always bet with my heart.
Sure.
And that's not smart when you're sports betting.
Nope.
And I make a small bet on my team just praying they'll win.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm never really gambling much money. But the other reason I don't do it is because it's so volatile.
Yeah. Well, the reason I don't do it, you're talking about the volatility, it ruins watching sports for me.
Oh, right. Exactly. Right. Because you start to root for teams that you may not want to root for.
Right. Or, a point, an over-under.
Right.
You're rooting for strange reasons. Right. But no, especially if it's a team that I care about, and I bet a certain way, or maybe a team I don't care. I don't know. It ruins it for me.
Yeah, it ruins it. And it's not enjoyable to watch a game. Like, because my back was out and I was home away from work, I watched a lot of the World Cup, more than I've ever watched ever. Right. By far. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because, it's a good game to watch.
I found myself enjoying it too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. But if I had money on a team, I wouldn't enjoy it.
Oh my gosh.
I'd be nervous the whole time.
The whole time.
I just like to sit back, relax, and watch the game. And whoever wins, wins.
Yeah.
There was a point in my life where I lived and breathed with the Padres and Chargers.
Yeah.
And when the Chargers would lose on a Sunday, I was pissed off till Wednesday the next week.
Yeah.
I'd go to work mad.
Yeah.
It'd be like Thursday before I could smile. I'd be so mad at some call or something happened. And as I got older, I realized that is so stupid.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the game. And when it ends, it ends. Win or lose. And I just go on with my life.
You have to take that attitude when you're a San Diego sports fan.
Right. Well, it does help being in San Diego to have that attitude.
Yeah. No.
But with craps, we lose and we don't frustrate over it too much. Yeah, we go home and, we'll get them next week.
All right. So we want to let everybody know that our next episode will definitely be late. We typically try to do episodes once every 2 weeks. We try to post the new episodes on Thursday, but you've got a couple of trips coming up.
Right.
That, we're just not going to be able to do it 2 weeks from today.
Right. Wedding and then, the family trip and stuff like that. Yeah. 2 weeks from today, I'll actually be out of town.
Yeah. So we're not sure when our next episode will be. Probably be in like 3 weeks or maybe a little before that. It certainly won't be more than 3 weeks.
No.
But our next episode definitely will be later. And one of the trips you're going on, and we've talked about this, is that you're going to Mesquite, Nevada this weekend.
This weekend.
Right?
Right.
For a wedding.
Stopping in Vegas Friday.
So good. Okay. Stopping in Vegas on Friday, the July 18th. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be there most of Friday. May stay overnight there and then drive on to Mesquite Saturday for the wedding.
Okay. So you're going to be in Mesquite all day Saturday, but you're going to be attending a wedding.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then back maybe to Vegas Sunday, just real briefly on the way home.
All right. So I'll be tweeting on your behalf as far as where you're doing, what you're doing, where you're at, that kind of thing.
Right.
I can't imagine that any of our listeners would be in the Mesquite area and might want to meet up with you. But if you're there, Dr. Mike's going to be there on Saturday.
I wish I could remember the name of the casino that the wedding's in, but
I'll tweet it again once you're there. Yeah.
Once we're there, I'll know. But right now, I can't even remember.
All right. But you'll have a good time. So you're stopping in Vegas. Yeah. On the Friday, you're going to be in Mesquite on the Saturday, and then you're going to stop in Vegas on the way back on Sunday, probably for a little bit, maybe.
For just a few hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're only an hour and a half apart. So it's like driving from here to Rincon, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right. Well, Dr. Mike's in Mesquite this weekend. So if you want to meet up with him.
Beautiful Mesquite. My brother's like, Mesquite? I've driven through there. It's like, is that a casino? It says casino, but it looks just like a building. Is it really a casino? That's the way he described it when he drove through.
Yeah, it's not much. I mean, they do have a big golf course and, you know, it's just a little oasis.
Yeah, little oasis. Little gambling oasis. I just hope the place has more than one craps table.
Yeah, good luck. See what
I mean, two I would love.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling it might just be one, and then you're kind of stuck, right?
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Be sure to download our app for your mobile device. You'll get access to all our episodes, quick links to contact us via Twitter, Facebook, email, and our voicemail hotline. And you'll get bonus audio. On the bonus audio for this episode, we talk about eating at a home poker game or a home casino night, and what kind of foods you should serve and what kind of foods you should not serve. With our app, you'll also get TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. I update those listings every Wednesday using a program I wrote myself to search through all the raw American TV data. The bonus audio and the TV listings are only available on our app. To download it, go to our webpage, youcanbetonthat.com, and on the left-hand side of the page, click on the link that says how to download our app. We have a link for Android devices and another one for iPhones and iPads. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 951-2-WAGERS.
951-2-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. Also, follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat. We always tweet when we're in a casino or on our way to a casino, and we'd love to meet up with you. We haven't tweeted lately, basically because of your back.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't want to subject our listeners.
We didn't know how long we'd be there.
Yeah, right.
Turns out we played our normal amount of time.
Of course we did.
Even though I could barely stand.
Of course we did. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. And finally, head on over to iTunes and write a review on us. When you do, it helps us get new listeners. All right, Dr. Mike, take us home.
All right. Well, I got two things to say. Number one, if you do have back problems and they go out, craps is great therapy.
Yeah, you've been great at the craps table. Yeah.
Well, you're standing most of the time, which is best on your back. You're not sitting, putting weight on it.
Okay.
And lifting up those chips surprisingly is therapeutic.
He's a doctor. Listen to him. All right. What's number two?
Number two is I just pray to God that we're in Mesquite and it's not like, 118 degrees and it's a hellhole. So, I hope to have some good stories when we get back.
All right, good.
And actually, there are quite a few people from what I hear, going to the wedding who want to learn to play craps.
Oh, okay. You're going to be holding court.
Yeah, right. And all of my wife's relatives are saying, no, you have to go no matter what, because these people are counting on, they all want to learn craps. So we may dominate a craps table there, which would be fun.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. I bet there'll be plenty of room at the craps table. I can't imagine there being regulars. Where would they come from?
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, and you need to check on the thermometer too on your drive over, because you're driving over there, right?
We're driving, yeah.
Check out the thermometer that's in Baker, the tallest thermometer in the world.
Actually, we'll be stopping a lot because of my back, probably to get out and walk. So maybe we'll stop there.
Okay, good.
And check
see what the
out.
progress is. All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.